In 2026, heavy recovery is no longer just a game of brute strength. The most critical factor is making the right decision before the situation spirals further out of control. One small mistake, and a 70,000-pound truck can turn into a real hazard. Most people see only an overturned vehicle, but to a recovery team, it's a chain of risks waiting to erupt at any moment. The call came on a Saturday afternoon, just as winds were gusting between 45 and 55 miles per hour, enough to destabilize lightly loaded semi-truck. When we arrived, the Freightliner Cascadia lay tilted in a drainage ditch, the cab twisted nearly 70 degrees, while the trailer was almost empty. This wasn't a typical crash. The truck had been flipped by the wind. The moment I stepped onto the scene, I could feel the force of the gusts hitting my body. We deployed a 110,000-pound rotator, extending its hydraulic outriggers 12 to 14 feet on each side to prevent tipping under load. 2 steel cables, each 1.25 inches thick and rated for around 100,000 pounds, were attached to structural points on the chassis. There's no room for error, even a slight misplacement, and the pulling force could tear the truck apart. I gave the signal to begin lifting. The tension built gradually, 20,000 pounds, 40,000 pounds, then up to 65,000 pounds, but the truck didn't budge immediately. It was pinned down by its own weight and the mud beneath it. Then came the moment. As the truck began to lift, the air itself seemed to hold still. If a cable failed at that point, the entire scene could turn instantly. But it didn't. The truck rose, slow, heavy, completely under control. In heavy recovery, the most dangerous thing isn't always the heaviest. Sometimes it's the lightest, the easiest to lose control. And that's why every safe recovery begins with identifying the smallest risks before they become major problems. The aftermath of the first recovery hadn't even settled when the second situation unfolded. This time, it wasn't dry wind, it was pouring rain covering the entire scene. A MAN TGS dump truck lay across the road, tipped nearly 90 degrees after slamming into a barrier, leaving it twisted and deformed. But the challenge wasn't just its 58,000, 65,000 pound weight. It was the road. Slick, almost no traction, combined with relentless crosswinds pushing everything toward the edge of control. We didn't use a rotator this time. Instead, we set up a dual hydraulic winch system with pulleys to double the pulling force. 2 anchor points were carefully selected, one at the rear axle, one at the main chassis near the cab. Choose wrong, and the truck would twist apart. The truck rotated back inch by inch. No explosion, no dramatic snap, just patience. When it finally settled back onto all 4 wheels, I didn't breathe for a few seconds. We secured the front, aligned the pulls straight along the chassis axis, no deviation, no rush. The truck rolled away slowly, leaving behind a wet road, flashing lights, and a stretch of space that looked as if chaos had never been there. In this case, strength wasn't about how hard you pull, but knowing exactly when to stop. If the first two were battles against the weather, this one was against weight itself, something that never shows mercy. A concrete mixer lay on its side, the drum pressed against the road. Total weight: 75,000 pounds. And worst of all, the center of gravity was completely off. Using only a crane? Too risky. High chance of slipping or flipping again. We chose a combined method: crane from above, air lifting bags from below. First attempt failed. The truck shifted slightly, then stopped, held down by its own mass. I called for an immediate halt. No forcing it, no risk. We stepped back, checked everything. Pulleys, cables, anchor points, all had to be perfect. Second attempt began in silence. Slower, smoother. 10 degrees. 20, 30. Each angle tightened the chest. Below, the airbags expanded, not lifting, but supporting at exactly the right moment. And then, it happened. The truck leaned back and stood upright. No crash, no jolt, just a heavy, precise movement. After nearly 40 minutes, it was over. The mixer stood again, not intact, but standing. Broken glass, crushed metal. Marks of everything it had endured. We aligned it with the road, secured it, and pulled it away. Slowly, quietly, the same way it had fallen. Sometimes, lifting something heavy doesn't start from above, but from supporting it underneath. In machines and in people, that principle always holds true. Three scenes, three challenges, and in the end, what remains isn't just the vehicles brought back upright, but the silence of the road once danger has been pushed away. There are moments when everything stands just one decision away from collapse. And in those moments, what keeps everything together isn't strength. It's absolute precision. If you want to keep following high-pressure recovery missions like these, the stories behind machines weighing tens of thousands of pounds and the people who face risk every single day, hit like and subscribe. Because ahead, there will be many more races against time.